Jim Cornette talked about Brendan Schaub's claim that Kast Media stole $1.4 million from him. So I'm going to play this and give you my thoughts. Jim keeps giving updates because they got ripped off by Kast Media, although they had a different deal than Schaub, but they got ripped off for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Schaub is claiming they ripped him off for $1.4 million, but he did sign the deal with Podcast One in hopes to get his money back. So let's see what Jim Cornette had to say about the latest update.
It only works if people get roped into it like this. You only get your money if you sign a deal with Podcast One. That's the only offer you're getting. You want this money, you have to. It's easy for us to say, fuck you. To be quite honest, Jim and I are financially secure. It's easy for us to say, into the six figures that you owe us, fuck you. Fuck you. You're not going to hold this hostage. It's not so easy for other people. Whether that money is $20,000, whether that money is $100,000. I saw another show. I won't say their name. It's up to them because they didn't name Kast. But another show came out saying they're owed $100,000 from their advertising agency.
And let's say, I don't think Sarah Silverman is on a soup line, but another byproduct of this, not only people that can't afford it, is people that can't get out of it. He's got her feed, maybe. Or he's got her goddamn production team that he just pulled away and then they all dispersed when the company immolated.
Or they don't realize that his contracts are bullshit.
And are easily...
We're violated a long time ago. Yeah, we're violated a long time ago. And it's one other show, and I won't say their name because they haven't publicly said anything. But a lot of internet sleuths and listeners of their programs have said stuff about a series of shows, owed $1.4 million from their advertising agency. Turns out it was Kast Media. The word is that person signed a deal with Podcast One. If you're owed 1.4, well, it's a little less than $500,000 that you're going to get up front if you got the same deal offer that we got. I don't know if he did, because quite frankly, we seem to be getting better deals than everyone else does. But that's almost $500,000, with the promise of another almost $500,000 in stock and payment over 2 years in undefined monetary terms. I wouldn't do that. Again, I don't want to be held hostage, but that's the problem. You could understand why a show like that rather not say anything, rather not fight the system, rather just get some of their money and then have to deal with the new overlord and hope that somehow it works out better. But it'll just work out the same. That's the problem.
Well, and one more interesting point, and we'll move on. You mentioned that show has moved over to Podcast One. How many shows affiliated with Kast Media have we seen or can we verify or have been announced as moving from Kast Media to Podcast One?
I believe they've only announced 2 shows, but it's actually like one show and it's a spin-off show. Some more news and more news, I think it is, or some news. It's
some news, more news.
There's something going on.
There's some news again.
They took the deal, apparently.
Yeah, so there hasn't been a mass exodus of, oh, God, let us in. They're not beating the doors down.
No, I mean, as we are recording right now, from what we have been told, Colin is right now in arbitration. He's also right now being sued already. And that's not even counting the class action lawsuit against him and Kast Media from former employees. And there's more to come. And Rob Ellen's still wrapping his arms around this guy. What the fuck is going on? And by the way, just give us our fucking money, you fucking dopes, or at least give us the accounting so we can really get mad.
So we know exactly how much it was you stole from us. We're only estimating so far because we don't trust your figures.
Yeah. You know why they're not saying shit? Because the last thing they want to do is sue, and the last thing they want us to do is go to Discovery because we know exactly what to look for and where to look for it.
And who to talk to about it.
Bingo.
But after, 4 weeks from now, let's close with this. After 4 weeks from now, it won't matter because they'll have issued this stock, right? That's what they're trying to do under the radar without nothing to see here. Look at the pretty monkey on the wall, whatever. They're just trying to get through with that.
And again, he knows what's going on, Rob Ellen. Colin knows what's going on. They've heard what's happening here. They've been asked by reporters, from what I understand, about the accusations we've made here. Accusations we could back up with documentation. Accusations we could back up with emails and text messages from Colin himself. So they haven't said boo about any of this, but they're aware of it. The last thing they want is any attention on it, because they know what we're saying is fucking true. Everything we have said about this is true. And there's a lot of people they're fucking with. And this isn't going to end. People don't do this and all right, you know what? I fucked with a bunch of people's lives. Now I'm going to be a decent person. Now it's time to give back to my community for real and care. No, it's going to be, who do I fuck over next?
No. I'll have you know that I've already seen the press release. Colin Thompson is currently opening a halfway house for girls who won't go all the way.
Well, we'll see about that. By the way, if you're hearing this on the air, reminder, this has been legally cleared by Stephen P. New. If you have a problem with anything we said in this, have your...
All right, so it seems Brendan Schaub, based on their offer, was offered $500,000 that will be paid off over 2 years, and the rest of the money Kast Media owes them in stock of a company that hasn't gone public yet that is already failing. Wow. And, the amazing thing, Brendan Schaub is claiming that they stole $1.4 million from him. But he's not suing them, but he's suing YouTubers for no money. It's incredible to me. It's hilarious to me. It's this dummy. By the way, 1.4 million, I don't believe for a second it's that high. Once again, I don't know what deal he has, but I think also what goes into the fact of him having to take that deal from them is also because he knows his podcast is completely failed, and he'll rather take something instead of nothing. Because if they go to court and Brendan Schaub says they owe me 1.4 million, and Kast Media goes, this guy gets no views on his podcast. It sucks. And everyone hates him. It might not work out for Schaub. So Schaub maybe just looking at it like, I guess I'll just take their $500,000 over 2 years and some stock. Ugh. Hilarious to me, though. So this Colin Thompson guy ripped off these guys, ripped off a whole bunch of other guys, and now they're bringing him in, Podcast One, to run that. And they know this guy's in Vegas. He's just not paying people their money. And all Jim Cornette had was just an advertising deal. Brendan Schaub had way more than that with them. Whereas, their show actually was on Kast Media and now is going to be on Podcast One, which is insane to me, but the fact that Bappa, once again, just bungled. He's a bungler. He's a dummy. He just bungled the bag again, got ripped off, and then had to take their shillings and is still going to have his show associated with that. And they're going to pay him, a quarter, less than half of what they owe him, according to Brendan. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, though, I must say. Going around suing people and then you actually get ripped off and you have no more of daddy's money to go sue the people who actually ripped you off. It's kind of hilarious and ironic. So, funny, hilarious, but let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you think of this whole situation.